Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with me, and today we're going to turn this ordinary cereal box. You can see my grandkids like Reese's Puffs. I know, lots of sugar. I know all that. But anyway, they're kids, only one time. But we're going to turn this cereal box into a cover for a mini album. So if you want to see this, then just stick around. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take it apart at the seams. Some of them are glued a little bit better than others. And then there's a side seam right here, so we're going to take that apart. There we go. Okay, we're going to use this as our spine. So our spine is already made. Now this is a pretty hefty cereal box, pretty thick. So this is going to be plenty thick enough for my mini album cover. But if you want it a little bit thicker, like a heavy chipboard, you can glue two of these together and then make it that way. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut all of this off so that we can get us a straight edge. And you can do this with your scissors, your trimmer, whatever. I'm going to try to do part of it with my trimmer. Okay, so we've got it cut down. I went ahead and cut all of this off. Those are the pieces that we don't need. And I went ahead and cut all that bad information off that has the calories and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to trash that because we don't need that. Now, this is where you decide how tall you want your mini album. This spine is, this spine is 2 5/8, a little bit over 2 5/8 in the width. So I think I want my mini album at 8 inches. So all I need to do here is I need to decide what part I want to use. And I'm going to put it in here. I think this is my straightest edge down here, so I'm going to start with this part. I'm sorry, let me get my bracelet up so it doesn't irritate everybody. Clanging on my desk. And then I'm just going to put this, like I said, I think that is my straightest edge. Looks like it. I'm going to put this down at 8 inches. Now this is a rotary trimmer, so it will cut through the thickness of both of these. If you don't have one that will, just use either scissors, you know, to mark it, or your X-Acto knife, you know, something like that. Alright, so there is our cover. Cute. Alright, we are finished with that for the moment. Now you could always keep the other part if you wanted to and make a smaller mini album. That'd be neat. Alright, now all we need to do is you need to lay it out and measure from the fold that is already in there out to your edge and see what size paper you need to cover. So this is 7 and we're just going to call it 7 5/8. Okay, after you have it cut down to the size that you want, then you need to think about what paper you're going to use to cover it with. I'm going to use this Julie Nutting Bella V. This is the Butterflies. I think I'm going to use this for my front cover and this for my back. So you'll need to measure from your where it folds out to the edge, and then you need to add a couple of inches on because we want this paper to come, you know, somewhat in the middle of the spine, because then we're going to cover the spine with a different paper. But that just gives some added strength to the spine. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to cut it at 10 by 10. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully that'll be right. So let's do this, because we need at least an inch all the way around to wrap around. I'll get that out in a minute. So there's that one. And sorry about the beeper, my laundry just cut off. Trying to do 3 or 4 things at once. I don't know if that'll work with my brain or not, but we'll see. Okay. So we've got it at 10 by 10, and now let's see. I'm going to score mine. You don't have to score it before you wrap it around, but to me it makes it a little bit easier. Now, first I'm just going to score it at 1 inch, if I can go straight. Oh, that wasn't straight, was it? I'm going to score it 1 inch on 2 sides, and then I'm going to see what I've got. That'll give me a corner to lay my point in so that I can get this lined up straight. Okay, so there's my score line, and there's my score line. So all I need to do is lay that point in that corner. So that's what I'm going to do on both of them. I'm not going to score that. If you know exactly, if your paper is exact measurement, you can go ahead and score all 3 sides. But, you know, I just said I'm going to cut mine at 10. It's not like that it's an exact science. You know how I don't like to measure. So I'm just going to score mine on 2 sides. And therefore that will give me where to put the point in. So see, I've got my point there, and then I'll have my point here on this side, and then I will have, looks like a little bit of lap over, a little bit of fold over, which is not going to be a problem because I'm going to put a spine on there anyway. Let's see if I cut my spine big enough. Yeah, that'll be big enough. Alright, so that looks good. So all I'm going to do now, and this is how I put the covers on my mini album. You can do it any way that you want. It's not, there's no rules. This is scrapbooking, there's no rules. Crafting, scrapbooking, whatever you want to call it. And I put my ATG tape right up to the edge. I may have called this score tape in the beginning. You'll have to excuse me. My brain is fried. Okay. You can use liquid glue, whatever. Here. Alright, this is going to be my outside. I'm going to mark my corner just because I have a hard time seeing it. I'm going to mark that right there. And then I am going to lay that down just like that. Okay, so there is my fold. There's my fold, and then I'll fold this one down here. So we got that. Let's go ahead and do our other side. I'm just going to put my score tape on here as I did. Score tape. This is ATG tape on here. You can tell my brain is in 100 different directions today. I've got so many projects I want to do and so many things on my mind. I'm just excited to show you guys all of them. But I need to slow down and concentrate on this one that I'm doing right now, or I'll end up messing up. You know me. Okay. Now again, I'm going to mark my corner. Alright. Because I would hate to get this stuck down and then it'd be crooked. And I have to bring mine around so I can see it. Alright, there we go. So there you go. Both of those are covered. And then this will go on our spine. So that's going to be pretty. Now we're ready to cut our corners. Now, I cut my corners different than everybody else. Of course, I do lots of things different than everybody else. I don't go straight across like this and cut all of that out. I just start up like at a little point like that. I even kind of circular mine a little bit. But that's how I do mine. Now, not saying my corners turn out any better than anybody else's. They don't. Sometimes my corners don't turn out good at all. But this is just the best way that I have found that it helps me. It may not be the best way for everybody else, but this helps me a little bit. Whoops. Then sometimes I don't get them cut straight at all. But as long as you leave about 1/8 of an inch right there between that point and your edge, you should be good. Okay, so there are our corners gone. And now I'm going to go around and just take my bone folder and I'm just going to turn this up and just slowly crease it. This will help in your paper splitting. And on this edge where it wasn't, didn't have the score line, I'm going to go ahead and score that. Now we can put our score tape on here. So, first thing I'm going to do is turn that back. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape down there. Alright, let's see. I think we'll use the 1/4 inch. I run my score tape right on the edge of this, and then I also put it up here as well. Now make sure you burnish all your score tape down really well. And I'm going to start on the side. So we're going to pull that around, folding easily as we go. And then press it down. There we go. Now we'll do the other side. Do the same thing. Just work it slowly. That breaks the fibers down in the paper so that hopefully it will not crack. Alright, then I go to the ends. And if there's any little bit of paper that sticks up right there to the fold, I go ahead and mash it down, press it down, and then I work this up. You want to get it as tight to that chipboard as possible. Stick that first one down and then that one, and that gives you some pretty corners. See? Okay. Then go to the other end. Do the same thing. Oops. And again, if you have any little bit of paper that's needs to be folded over, go ahead and do that now. And then work it up just like you do the other. And press it down. And there you go. There is your, now we're going to go ahead and go over these creases right here, the score marks that was on here. So that we can fold these. Fold them slowly at first because you want to give the paper time for the fibers to break down. So just give it a little fold at first. Turn it over, maybe do it the other way. Just folding it slowly, pressing it, going back in with your bone folder. Just give it time. Don't try to force it. And there is your cover. So this is our front, this is our back. And then I think I'm going to use this for my spine. Alright, now I need to try to get this as centered as possible. So there is one of my corners, there's the other, or score lines. So let's try to put those on a line here on my mat, and then I will just try to center it from there. And there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and put me a score line right here on this side and one on this side, and then I'm going to try to fold this around. And don't worry if it's not the same width as this, because we're going to cover all of this. It's not a biggie. I should have cut it probably a little bit longer, but we're going to cover that. We're going to cover this inside with paper. So that should be enough. Alright, then we're going to need to do that fold again. Alright, so there is the cover of our book, our mini album with our spine covered. I think that's super cute. And then I will measure to see what size we cut for the paper for the inside, and then I'll show you tomorrow. We'll probably put the pages and everything else in. But I just wanted to show you this today. Let me go ahead and figure out what paper I'm going to put on the inside. I think I might just use this for the inside. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use this for the inside. And all I am going to do, now there is a science to this. Some people measure and get it just precise into, so. I don't like to measure, so I put mine down. I mark it to where I just have about 1/4 of an inch on top and bottom, and then that's how I cut it. I hate to measure, and I will do just about anything to get out of it. It's not good. If you like to measure, do it, because I make a lot of mistakes doing my way, but not as many as I make trying to measure and not getting it exactly right. So we will do this way for now and see what we've got. Alright, so that will go there. So what I'm going to do, I don't want my seam to be right there, so I am going to trim this off. I'm going to make sure that I've got enough down here, enough right there. I'm going to go ahead and trim this off right there, and then I'll put another piece on this side. Okay, let's see if this works. There we go. We have our inside cut. Great, that looks exactly right. So we're going to go ahead and put our inside down, and you can use regular ATG tape for this. You do not have to use score tape because this is not going to get a lot of wear and tear, hopefully. So I just use my ATG tape. I put quite a bit, but I use it. And then all you want to do is when you start to put it down, just make sure that you've got about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then that'll cover up all of your seams, that kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be exact. If you're a little off, it's okay. It will get covered up with pages and things. Alright, then put this one down. So let's just concentrate on this end because that center is going to be covered up with our pages and our what we put our pages on with. So we're not going to worry about that right there because all that's going to be covered. Alright, let's go ahead and do our folding again. Each time that you put something else on here, you need to go ahead and make your folds, make your creases, because that just helps in the long run. There is the mini album cover made from a cereal box. I think it is super cute. It's very easy, very quick, and you know, if that's the only type chipboard you have, then you're good to go. Alright, tomorrow we'll do the pages to go in it. We'll do our page insert, the little things that our pages sit on. My mind's just blank. I can't even think of what that's called. But anyway, we'll do that tomorrow and make our pages and decorate everything up. Get your cereal boxes out and show me some projects. We have our challenge going on for the month of May. If you don't know what the challenge is, click on the link below that says challenge, and it will guide you over to our blog where it explains everything about the challenge. You could win a $15 gift certificate to the boutique to go shopping, so make sure that you check that out. We'll talk to you later guys. Bye-bye.